closing in on the enemy. I've been camped outside this guy's website for 42 hours now. Haven't eaten. I haven't slept. Haven't taken a leak. But I did sign up for his newsletter using a fake email address, so there's that. Sorry, guy. It's not personal. It's business. War. What is it good for? Absolutely nothing. Hey, it's RKA, and this is another episode of Awkward Marketing. Because marketing your small business can be awkward, sometimes awful. I'll help you make it awesome. They say business is war, and war is a business. And that type of thinking just doesn't motivate me. And if you're watching this video, it probably doesn't motivate you either. If you're anything like the small business owners I spend my time with, you're a visionary, change-making, conscious entrepreneur, and you're just as concerned about leaving the world better than you found it as you are about building your bottom line. So when it comes to competitor research, you might be thinking something along these lines.
I don't do competitor research, RKA. I prefer not to operate my business from a scarcity mindset.
Or,
I'm just not out to bring down other businesses. I'm about community, not competition.
and I completely and utterly agree with all of the above. I have zero desire to kill or gut or tear apart others in business, nor do I want to live in fear of others who do what I do, imagining my blue ocean slowly turning red with the blood of my enemies. I don't need that energy in my life. But I do believe in competitor research, and I believe you should be doing competitor research on a regular basis as a key part of your business planning and marketing strategy. In fact, I insist upon competitor research as a part of my process. Every person who works with RK Inc. does strategy at the beginning of the process, and competitor research is a mandatory part of that strategy work. And when we get to that part of the process, one thing I hear a lot is,
well, I just can't do competitor research, RKA, because there is literally no one out there who does what I do the way I do it.
and I got news for you. That's true of basically every business ever. And it's a dangerously narrow way of thinking. It's not about studying others who do exactly the same thing you do in exactly the way you do it. Instead, it's about understanding the other choices in the marketplace. And choices is a good word to replace competitor with, because it dilutes the negative energy we have around the concept of competition. Competitor research is all about understanding all of the choices that your prospect has and strengthening your message around why they should choose you. So let's say you're a healer. You help people deal with emotional and physical pain, and maybe you've created your own modality for doing this, something that no one else in the entire world is using. And you might say to me, well, RK, I don't have competition. No one else is doing what I do in the way I do it. Effective competitor research in this context is looking at all of the options that your prospect has for solving the problem that you solve. So no, there's no other healer in the whole wide world who does what you do the way that you do it. But what are all the other options your prospect is considering in their search for the answer to their problem? It could be traditional medicine, doctors, therapists, pharmaceuticals, self-help groups, self-help books, supplements, dietary changes. The list goes on and on. Your competitors are not just other people who do exactly what you do, exactly the way you do it. They're all of the options that your prospect is considering when looking for the answers to their problems. So with that in mind, let's talk about the 3 benefits to competitor research, even if you're not a competitive person. Number 1, competitor research is market research. It's free market research. Studying how others who solve the same problems that you do speak to your ideal audience, articulate their needs, will give you so many insights into your target market without you having to do lengthy or expensive research on your own. It also helps to validate that you're on the right track with your messaging, though it's not about copying what other people are saying to your audience. Instead, it's about number 2. Competitor research helps you figure out what's missing in the marketplace, what's missing from the conversation. Yeah, you want to pay attention to what your competitors are saying, but it's not so you can parrot them. It's so you can figure out what's not being said. That's your window. That's how you answer the question, why choose me? Because in doing competitor research, you will inevitably find at least one thing that's not being said, that's something missing, the blind spot that can be your sweet spot. And ultimately, this leads us to number 3, the secret to good competitor research, which is it's about you, not them. The goal isn't to get into compare despair syndrome or plot all the ways you're going to bring down your enemies. The goal is to hone in more clearly on what makes you unique. Competitor research should leave you feeling more confident, not less confident, that you have a special approach, skill set, philosophy, way of meeting the needs of the marketplace like no one else can. And if that doesn't happen, then competitor research has done its job in revealing the work you still need to do. Bonus side effect of competitor research, if you're up for the challenge, is it can open up doorways to new relationships with amazing people. Whenever I'm feeling that professional jealousy creeping up on me, got a little compare despair syndrome happening, looking at that amazing business that seems to be doing everything right, I take that energy and I funnel it into reaching out to the person, paying them a compliment, telling them what I admire about them and how they do business, inviting them out for virtual coffee. And guess what? 9 times out of 10, I'm able to turn a competitor into a colleague and a collaborator. How's that for community over competition? A rising tide lifts all boats, folks. Don't be afraid to look at the other choices in the marketplace, folks. They help you get to know yourself better, and best case scenario, they turn into your business bestie. Awkward? No more.